Hello and welcome, I'm BluenoseLJ. With the transfer window having now closed, I thought that I would do a quick video and just assess our transfer activity in this transfer window. Now, no Everton fan should be under any illusion of the amount of work that Carlo Ancelotti had to do with this squad, the squad that he inherited last season. It's no secret to Everton fans, or I think general football fans, how bad Everton were last season. Now, I wasn't expecting miracles and Carlo Ancelotti to address everything in one window. I think this is a long-term project. Uh, Two, three, four, five, even six windows before Carlo Ancelotti really genuinely turns this squad, this team, into the team and squad that Carlo Ancelotti wants as his squad as an Everton manager, and really turns us into title contenders and Champions League contenders. And I do genuinely think that that is something that he is going to do, and we will be. I've said it on a previous video. He has turned us from wannabes into gunnabes. Now, uh, it's also no secret where our weakest point was last season. Our midfield. Our midfield was very, very poor last season. Um, with the players that we had, we just didn't compete. We didn't look like a team that was capable of closing down players, breaking up play. We had nobody in the central midfield area that was taking control. It was mainly Sigurdsson, Gomez, and Davies. There were a few, obviously, other players that played in that kind of role as well. But it was those three, and together it just didn't work. And like I say, I wasn't expecting Carlo to address everything in one window, but having said that, he has completely changed that midfield in one window. He has completely addressed the weakest point for Everton, and from the start of the season, you can see already just how strong we are in midfield. From last season to where we are now, we've gone from probably one of the weakest midfields in the league to a midfield that I would say is one of the strongest and can compete with anyone. Allen and Decore have been absolutely immense. For a combined total of something between 45 and 50 million. I'm not even sure if it was that kind of money between the two of them. Absolutely awesome business. And they have totally transformed that midfield. We look like a team that can compete with anybody. Allen is absolutely awesome at breaking up play, and Decore with the box to box, he breaks up play, he can travel with the ball, he's creative, kind of an all-round midfielder, something that we have lacked for such a long time. The pairing seem to have gelled together already. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting, an improvement on last season, and when he brought in Allen and Decore, I thought that it would take a little bit of time for them to gel. No, it's just worked from day one. Right from that Spurs game, we've just been absolutely dominant in the midfield area. Even when Allen hasn't played, I thought last week Tom Davies had a really, really good game, which I was really surprised at. And I don't know if it's that he's kind of improved. I think it's just the fact that the players that are around with Decore there, it just it allows other players to not have to do things that they are not very good at, and do the part of their game that they are good at. And Tom Davies actually looked quite solid and quite decent last week. Obviously, when he went back into the right back position as well, I thought he looked okay there as well. So very impressed by the way that Tom Davies played last week, and long may that continue, because obviously he's remained at the club. So yeah, very surprised. I'm almost speechless, as you could probably tell, by the way that we have improved in midfield. Then we have James Rodriguez. Um, Linking midfield and the attack. He's kind of playing at the top of a three, but um, kind of allowed to wander wherever he really wants to wander about. He goes on the left, he goes on the right, in the center, comes back into midfield. Um, he's absolutely world class. You can see it with his touch, with his vision. Um, he doesn't need to run sprint. He doesn't need to run about too much. He just knows where to be, and he knows who to pass to, and he knows how to pick a player. He stands out a mile when he's playing. He's one of, I've been supporting Everton since around about 1985 kind of time, and for me, I don't really remember the team of the 1985, 1986, 87 kind of team. It's there in my head, but I don't remember watching it that much. I was quite young. James Rodriguez is the best player that I've ever seen at Everton. It's that simple. He's only played a number of games already, and I can just see that he just is another level. He's the level that we obviously want to get to, but he just is world class, and there's nothing else to say about him, I don't think. Absolutely awesome. Love watching him play. Can't wait for the next game to see what he's going to do. Those three players have totally transformed this Everton team. A bit worried about if one of those got injured, but the 11 that we have, they are totally transformed, and I'm so happy that we've managed to bring in those three. And like I say, we've totally addressed that midfield area. We've also brought in Niles Nkounkou. He was young. I don't think that the plan was for him to be part of the first team. But with the fact of Leighton Bings retiring, he has needs must, and he has actually had to be brought through. He's, like I say, he's still young, 19 years old. We shouldn't have expected too much from him, but the amount of games that he's played so far, I fully expect this young man to become a real top quality left back. He looks very comfortable on the ball. He looks very strong, and he is definitely going to be a future Everton left back. Not going to take Lucas Digne's place at the moment. Lucas Digne is one of the best left backs in the Premier League, if not in Europe at the moment. There's no question about that. So, but very, very capable understudy, and one definitely for the future. So we've managed to address, obviously we brought in that left back, and we've managed to address our central midfield. Now, we also, with the fact of Holgate and Branthwaite both being injured, we were a little bit lightweight at the back, with Lewis Gibson going out on loan as well. So we only really had Mina and Kean as our two fit centre-backs. And we addressed that on the deadline day, and we brought in Ben Godfrey from Norwich City. Now, I think this is one for the future. He is only young. He's still 22 years old, which isn't that young, but it is still one for the future. I think he is a solid centre-back. He's an England under-21 international. He has been tipped to be a future England international, full England international. So, he's definitely cover for our centre-back position. Obviously, at the moment, he's going to be the cover for Mina and Keane, I think, should anything happen to them. I've been very impressed with Mina this season. There's been times when I've thought that he looks a bit suspect, and I'm not the biggest fan of Mina. But the game against Brighton and Hove Albion, I thought he was immense. The blocks and the challenges he did, he was my man of the match. Even though James Rodriguez scored 2 goals, Mina was still my man of the match. Now, so we've brought in Ben Godfrey, who is going to be the cover for our centre backs at the moment. He also can play in central midfield role as well, defensive central midfield role. So he could be cover for Alan should anything happen to him. So he covers 2 places, and like I say, he is definitely one that Carlo Ancelotti would be looking to in the future. And we've obviously brought in Olsen as our goalkeeper, or I'm not really sure about this one. He is a Sweden international, so he is the number 1 at the moment. He is the Swedish goalkeeper. He's got something 37, 38 caps for Sweden. He wasn't playing first team football for Roma when he was signed, but like I say, he's still the Sweden international goalkeeper. So I don't really know a huge amount about him. He's very tall. He's a tall goalkeeper, and obviously Pickford is quite short for a goalkeeper in comparison. So he is going to be competition for Pickford. Now, I know that some Everton fans out there were saying that I would have liked Romero or another goalkeeper. Now, I do think that Everton wanted a loan of Romero, and Manchester United wanted the permanent transfer. Now, the reason I don't think that we went for a permanent transfer for him was because I genuinely think that Carlo Ancelotti has plans for the goalkeeper position, and I do think that that's going to happen next summer, and that will be addressed, and Pickford will be replaced as the number 1 goalkeeper next summer. I don't think that we had the money or the ability to bring in a permanent goalkeeper this transfer window, which is why we didn't bring in. That's why we were looking for loans as a goalkeeper, because we just wanted somebody to cover for 1 season. So I genuinely think that Carlo Ancelotti will address the goalkeeper position next summer. So we brought in Olsen to be, I'm going to say, backup goalkeeper for Pickford, but probably give a little bit more competition than the current goalkeepers that we have at the moment. So maybe he will play in the Carabao Cup quarterfinal against Manchester United and see where he is. And Carlo Ancelotti probably will give him, assess him over the coming weeks and see whether possibly he could take Pickford's place this season. But like I say, I genuinely do think that we will address the goalkeeper position next summer. Now, we've also let Theo Walcott go. I agree with that. I don't think that he was going to get the game time this season. So he's gone back to Southampton on loan with a possibility of a permanent transfer next season. I don't think that Walcott will come back to Everton next season and play any part. He wasn't going to play too much this season, so I think it was best that for all parties that Walcott be allowed to leave. I genuinely wish him the best at Southampton. I have no problems with Theo Walcott. I think Theo worked very hard for Everton. He always put in a good shift. He always tried for Everton. He never ducked out of anything. I genuinely don't think that we got the best out of him, but or he was quite good enough. But I don't think that Theo Walcott ever didn't try when he put on the Everton shirt. He genuinely gave us all that he had. So I don't have anything against Theo Walcott, and I genuinely wish him the best at Southampton. And obviously, he can't play against us because he's on loan. So we've also let Moise Kean go on loan as well to Paris Saint-Germain. I don't think anybody expected that one. He's not really going to play too much there, I wouldn't have thought. So he's kind of going to go and sit on the bench there instead of sitting on the bench for Everton. But it does get him partially off the wage bill. And there is, I think, an option for Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, to purchase him at the end of the season. Maybe he'll get a game and we'll see what he's capable of. He didn't really settle in the English game. He is still young. Maybe Carlo Ancelotti still thinks that, let him go out on loan, get some experience with PSG and then come back. Maybe he would go out on loan next season. Maybe Carlo Ancelotti still sees a role for him. I'm not too sure in the future, but he's not going to get too much game time, I wouldn't have thought, and he doesn't look like he could be backup really for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Should we need that at any point. So those are the signings that we've brought in. Those are the signings really that we've let go. Obviously, during the window, Martin Stekelenburg, there was a lot of players being allowed to go, Schneiderlin and stuff that I won't address now. That's already, old news really. So when overall, this transfer window has been a massive, massive success. Look at the way that we're playing. Look at where we are. 7 wins out of 7. 7 straight wins, something I can't even remember Everton ever doing. We genuinely look like a top 4 side. I am a bit worried the fact that we haven't brought in a striker. And we possibly look a little bit suspect should anything happen up front. We are a little bit weak there. Obviously, Tosun is going to come back. Oh, I forgot Sandro Ramirez. How could I forget? Sandro Ramirez has left the club. I'm devastated. The man that has managed to score 1 goal for Everton and 3 goals in the last 2 seasons. He's left the club. I don't know how we're going to survive without him, but he has gone. Yeah, I am a little bit worried that we haven't brought in a striker to be cover for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We have Sims, who is free scoring at the moment for the under 23s. So maybe Carlo Ancelotti sees him as a potential. Who knows? And obviously Tosun, who is injured, but should be back, I think, sometime in November, if memory serves me right. And maybe Carlo Ancelotti sees that there's a possibility that he could be back up. We shouldn't forget that there is another transfer window in just, I think, 10 weeks or something like that. So it's not like we have to go a whole season or half a season without the possibility of bringing somebody in. Maybe we address that in the next transfer window. There is also the fact that we can bring in players from the ESL. And there is mention, and a lot of Everton fans are speculating that maybe Joshua King comes in from Bournemouth. It's a possibility. I wouldn't say that it's anything too solid or even too much of a possibility, but it is an option. It is something that is still out there. But overall, I have to say that I have been impressed with this transfer window. We have totally transformed the team. We look like a team that can compete. We're top of the league. Going into the Merseyside derby, I'm optimistic of a result there, whether that be a draw or a win. I'm not looking at the fact that we may lose that game. It will be, without doubt, a hard game, despite the fact that Liverpool lost 7-2. They will be a solid team, and it will be a very, very hard game. If we can win that game, then I would really genuinely talk about us going beyond, that top 4, 3, even second place. Still a little bit away from myself saying that we are genuine title contenders, but if we can continue on, who knows? So yeah, overall, I think that it has been a positive transfer window. It has been a successful one, and we have another transfer window in a few weeks' time. We'll see if we bring in anybody there. And the project has started. The project has moved on a huge way from where we were last season, and I'm very happy with the way that Carlo has conducted this transfer window. A massive praise to Marcel Brands as well, has to be. And there you go. Yeah, impressed, happy, and a totally different team to last season. Please remember to subscribe to this channel if you want to be with the chance of winning the Everton football shirt. The draw is on the 1st of November. You have to subscribe, and you also have to comment in the prize video, which I will link to here, the size and color of the shirt that you would like to win if you were to win. Thank you very much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you on my next one.